Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the head moderator and founder of Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is a private group of traders. We've been around for about 6 years now. Each morning we come together into this live session and go through a look at the market. I do a macro to micro view, look at the structure of the market, and then drill down to my trade levels and my hypotheses and targets for the day. It is Thursday, July the 9th. Welcome, everybody. If anybody has questions or information upon seeing this video, please contact me at quantumleaptrading@gmail.com, and I'll answer any questions that you have in terms of subscription and how the room operates. So let's get going. Before I do, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in here are for education purposes only. Please trade your own trade plan, your own risk metrics. Speaking of trades, let's go take a look at what we did yesterday. It was a grind yesterday. Not quite as good as our Tuesday, where we locked in 40 3/4 points. We took 20 trades yesterday, and I only made 4 points. I kind of had a grind up and down, and I really had a great last trade, but I just didn't had to run, so I didn't let it get as high as I could have got. I think 46 or 47 out of it, and had a decent day, but I had to drive my daughter to school. Anyway, it is what it is. Yesterday's gone. So we clear the slate, and we start afresh today. All right, taking a look at the macro to micro. I like to start my morning every morning, taking a look at where we are in terms of trend in the different time frames. I start at a monthly, and I use a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. What I'm basically looking for here is, do we have slope and separation to the upside or downside, and where we are in the trend. You can see on the monthly we are losing a little bit of slope and separation, but we are holding above the 9 EMA. And you can see that we closed last month right at 2055, which is our year open. So we are fighting the year open right now, and so far the bulls are holding it up, but the bears are trying to push it down. Prophetic. And going to the weekly, you see that we gapped down last week, and we continue to stay below the 9 and the 20 on the weekly. So we are seeing weakness coming into the weekly trend. It has been violated, and we could be starting a trend to the downside until we get back above the 9 and 20. But right now it's up in the air. On the daily, you can see we definitely started a downward trend. We do have a naked cross up here at 2098 1/4 on the daily, but we do have this head and shoulder pattern that we've been watching with that measured move down to 2019. So 2019 is the 61.8 extension, and then 1990 is 100% extension. So until we get back above the 9 EMA, above that 66, 67 level, we still have to assume that this trend is going to continue downward. Going to the intraday, just see if there's any trends going into the RTH session, and I'm looking at naked crosses as well. Naked crosses when 9 crosses over the 20. Here's a good example, one right here. 9 crosses over the 20, and price moves away, leaves it naked. The market will come back and fill that. You can see we took the naked cross out, this one out on this move up here. We had one here, but it got taken out. None here, so basically we've got no naked crosses. We do have a bit of a start of a upward trend here on the 4-hour. We are above the 9 and the 20. We are getting slope and separation. It's the very beginning of a upward trend on the 4-hour. On the 30-minute, clearly have a strong trend on the 30-minute from going down and making that low yesterday at 36 and a quarter. And then, I mean, that 37 and a quarter entry was a great entry if I could have held it. But anyway, good slope and separation. So we have a very strong trend in the 30-minute, just going down to, there is a naked cross, by the way, down here on the 30-minute at 2044. And 2044 and a quarter is an LVN from yesterday that we'll take a look at when we get to the volume profile. And then on the 5-minute, you can see the same thing. We had a strong trend during the European market. We kind of consolidated, and then we're back to the trend again. We do have slope and separation on the 5-minute, and we're holding above the 9 and the 20. So the trend is still intact on the 5-minute. All right, let's take a look at the big picture. Nothing really changes much. We got this 8-day microcomposite profile. Yesterday, perfect example of getting stuck in a wick. Okay, there's the wick from Tuesday. Here's yesterday, and we just sort of grinded it back and forth in this distribution zone, stuck in this wick. The 8-day microcomposite VPOC is 5750. Our value area low from the long-term price acceptance is right here at 2058 and a quarter. That is basically our key line in the sand. Above it, I'm looking for rotation back up into the 66, 71, 75, and then if we can get above this 82, the most traded price going back to February is up here at 93.75. So I'd be looking for continuation and a fill of this gap with the gap fill at 96. Is something going on that I hear people beeping? No. Okay. But right now we're sitting 62 and a quarter. Our RTH high yesterday, 61.75. So if we hold above that range, I'm looking for initiative buyers to step in on the open and take us up immediately to the 66 if we don't do it in the next 35 minutes that we've got before the open. We are getting a Keltner upper line walk. All right, so let's take a look at the overnight. Of course, we've got our overnight high at 63. That's likely to expand higher. Our overnight low, not likely to expand lower, so we'll put the overnight low in at 38.50. And that's basically right on top of our value area low yesterday and just below the VPOC and the close. Yesterday's VPOC was stolen into the close. I call it stealing the VPOC when value shifts late in the day like this. And that's usually buyers coming in to hold value. And our VPOC is 39 and a quarter, and our close is 39 and a quarter. So we basically have a very big target down here if we get back inside of the value area below us. The overnight VPOC, no surprise, 60 and a quarter. They're fighting that level at the value area low, just below the range high from yesterday. What was it? 60 and a quarter, and it just shifted about a half hour ago. So 60 and a quarter. Okay, so how to trade this? Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to be watching this 56 and a quarter. That's an LVN from overnight. You've got basically a triple distribution. You've got another LVN at 47.75. And another one down here at 42, but I don't think that one's going to be very important. So we don't need this anymore. Let's expand this out. Coming up to make new Globex highs here at 63. Come on, show me to the front. Hold on a second, I gotta trying to get these 3 days right here to the front. All right, because that's going to be one of my targets today, 69.50. So I'm going to be using the 61.75, no surprise, as my key trade level. Below that, I'm looking for them to come down to my key line in the sand, 58.25. That's also yesterday's open. If we get below this key line in the sand, then I'm looking for them to come down and test this 56.25 overnight LVN. But I'm really looking for them to come down here. Why? Can anybody tell me why I'm looking for them to come down here? Nobody? Actually, Marvin, this is the value area high, but it's also the value area high is at I'm sorry, it's the value area high is at 51.50, but the 51 is the FOMC. That's our 2 o'clock number yesterday when the FOMC minutes came out. So I'd be looking for that. If they get below the 58.50, 58.25, I should say, then I'm looking for them to come down and test this area and come back to the scene of the crime, as FT likes to say, and test the value area high and the FOMC number. Below there, your target is going to be this LVN at 47.75. Come on. I gotta move this LVN for a second. I don't know why my thing keeps doing this. I forgot to update my IRT last night. Preferences. All right, then move this LVN back behind it. Really can't show both, but it's a target. We know that. And then below the 47.75, we've got the CHVN target at 45.50. And then there really isn't much below there, except we've got the 44.75, sorry, 47.75. That's why that this 47.75 is actually going to be a trade area as well. Because it is the 8-day value area low. Sorry, I'm having trouble with my bring the front. That's what I want. Okay, and then 45.50, and then there's nothing below there until we get all the way down to this 40.75. So I'm going to use that as a trade area as well, because if we get down to 40.75 and we break below that, I got a great target for the overnight low at 38.50, and the takeout of the naked VPOC and the naked cross. But I mean naked close. But I'd be looking for them to come down to this 38, 50 to 38 and a quarter. 38 and a quarter is the value area low as well. So if we get back in here, and this is going to be a really good trade. So, this is, if you want easy money, take the break below 40.75 into this 38 area. There's a lot of targets down here. And by that time, we probably have set up for a 80% value area destination trade. And then, look for them to come down and test the range low, excuse me. And then my target below is going to be that 34 and a quarter. And that's the fractal low that we put in on Monday night in the Globex. Okay, and then below the 34 and a quarter, we have a target at 30.25, 24.75 with I don't know why this is doing this, but for some reason it just wants to save whenever I change the label. With a little bit of support here at that CLVN at 26.75, and then below there, really nothing until we come down into this measured move at 19 with the extended target down here at 2011. 2011 and a quarter is the microcomposite naked VPOC from the prior long-term balance that we broke out of to create this upper value area up here. There's the value area that we broke out of, their high, their low, and the VPOC is at 2011 and a quarter. So I am looking for a rotational day today. As long as they stay above 58 and a quarter, I'm looking for rotation up into the 66 area, possibly even up to the 71. If they get below the 58, then I'm looking for rotation down into this 38, 39 area. I think we're going to see another day of wild gyrations, rotations, whatever you want to call them. It's going to be whippy, and we're going to have to keep our wrists tight and know where we're wrong quickly and not get ourselves deep in a hole like we did yesterday and have to spend most of the day digging ourselves out. But that's trading, and we did dig ourselves out and got profitable for the day. And that's a key point. Never give up. Never, never, never. All right, looking at the Keltner. We have an overnight high still at, what is it, 63 still, but we are getting a strong walk the line. Upper Keltner right now, 63. Move back to test the Keltner is going to take us to that 2057.75. Remember, 2057.50 is the CHVN, or it's a CHVN, but it's also the 8-day microcomposite VPOC, so the most traded price in the last 8 days. Below that, look for a move down to test that 56, 55 level, 55 the year open, and then below a test to the lower Keltner is going to take us down to that 51 and a quarter to test the value area high from yesterday. So that's what I'm looking at in the ES. Let's take a quick look at gold, shall we? Bring the action in. And value right now is 54. We've moved up. We broke above that 61.70. Remember I said if we broke above that 61.70 yesterday, that we'd likely come up and test the 67.68, the value area low of the balance that we just fell out of, with possible continuation up to 1172. So if they come down here again and hold this 1161, 1162 area, get long into that 67, 68 area, and you want to be, funded and scaled before you get to the 65. To the upside, there's really no edge up here until you get up to this 1179.50. So it's going to be tough trading, doing much in gold unless you can, take a trade off of this, or you get a good setup. Below 61.70, I'd be looking for a move back into 57 and 54. And possibly coming down and testing this 1150 area again. You've got the 2-day micro composite value area low down there, so they could test the lower side of this balance around 54. And a breakout of that, look for a move to 47, and responsive buying coming in at 44.60. Looks like we've got, found some support right now in gold, and they're likely to chop around between 57 and 72 area to further mature the auction here. So that's what I'm looking at. Currently trading 61.50, so I can go ahead and put in our overnight high for the time being. See if it holds in the next 30 minutes or 25 minutes. We're going to open, if we open up down here, we're going to be opening up inside of range but outside of value. So I'd be looking for them to come up, possibly take out the overnight high, try to break out of the range high, and then possibly seeing responsive sellers coming in and rotating us down. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't do our upward numbers, so I've got to do that. So first target above is, of course, the overnight high. The second target is going to be that 64 and a quarter. 64 and a quarter has been an important number for us. It has, let me pull up my sheet so I can bring it up. 64, I'm sorry, it's not 64 and a quarter, it's 65 and a quarter, and that was Tuesday's close at 60.50, 65.50. And then, of course, we have the 66 just above, but I'm gonna front run that. And then above that, 68 and a quarter. Sorry, 68.75. And then above that, we're looking for our main target and key line in the sand for higher prices. Okay, and then above 71, we've got all our targets up here already. $73, $75 is actually shifted to 74 and a quarter, and that's actually a trade area. There's a naked close at 73, 75. And then above that, we've got 75.50. That's actually a target. And then nothing until we get to that 79, 75 area. And then above that, 81. And this is not September. I don't know why I had September in here. It's June. Okay, and 84 and a quarter, 85.50 is the half gap fill from the first breakdown last week. and then you've got 85.50, 87.75, but the big one, extended target, is going to be up at 93. I don't think we're going to get there today. So that's what I'm looking at. That's going to conclude this morning's session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.